What's up guys, it's Adam here from Airpreneur, and today I want to walk you through the build out of our new 36 unit project. Right now we are in the lobby. As you can see, there's a lot of packages. We have Amazon guys coming left and right all through here, but take a walk with me here and I'll show you what's going on. What's up, man? So this is one of our storage units here. We have a lot of the big items. Light's gonna come on. One of our storage units here. A lot of the big items were already came, like rugs, bed frames, tables, all sorts of stuff we just have in this place here. We also have another storage facility. By the way, we're gonna do all the big items last. Because you want to get all the little stuff in there first, organized, checked off, which we'll talk about later. And then you get all the big items last and the rugs last, because the cleaner's got to do a deep clean before you actually put the rug down. So because we have so many Amazon packages and an overflow, it's going into the second room. So the second room is serving as extra storage plus some trash as well. So the guys are just getting it and they're attributing it to the right floor. So we got two floors. We got the second floor and third floor. Each of the packages or the floors has different stuff that's going on. We got some guys here that are continually taking out trash. And let's go up now to the second floor. All right, we're at the second floor. Second floor is organized chaos. So right now we have multiple teams that are at each floor that are working out different jobs. We have some that are building specific units. I had given them the layouts and the lists of all the different items of which they need to have for the units. They're sourcing and kind of checking them off one by one. So actually, let's go this way here. So we have one room here that's literally just all couches. So because the couches can't leave the rooms, we have them here, we do everything last, and then we bring the couch in and we have them build it one by one in each of the individual design layouts. This is actually one of the one bedrooms here. It's pretty nice, but I'll show you some of the others later. We also have some rooms that are just specifically designed for smaller items. So this is one of the rooms that's just for smaller items. We have all separated here. We had one room that was just for chairs. So all yesterday we had guys building all these chairs so that we could easily take it out of the room and put it into the correct spot as well. Continually more and more stuff is coming of these little items. People are bringing it up, they're breaking it down, they're separating it. We've got a bunch of guys that are always, again, looking for stuff in these rooms. And then I'm gonna take you into one of my favorite rooms here. This is a 2-bedroom that's currently being built. So right now we have a team of 4 that's just specifically focused on finding and organizing the items and building the furniture for this room. So this is one of my favorites, 214, it's a 2-bedroom. Come in here, a little bit of a small hallway, but then it really opens up. So we got the team working here. So they already kind of sourced some of the items. It's 2-bedroom. This is the first bedroom. So we still got to get the bed frame, things like that. But we have some of the miscellaneous items that are going to be hung, as well as the rug. It's got a really nice view here of the outside building and the activity center and things like that. So I really like it. And then going into the main living space, we have a lot of it built. So we have a lot of the kitchen stuff's already put away. And then the handyman is coming tomorrow. We have a team of handyman that are coming to install wall mounts in pretty much every one of the rooms and installing 50-inch TVs that we have. But everybody here is working on different stuff. Another one of my guys here is working away on a dresser. All right, this is another one of the rooms we have in here. It's one of my favorite 1-bedroom layout. Massive open area, and we have the whole list of all of our TVs here, all of the mirrors, all of the artwork as well that the guys have pre-built and built out here that we'll just take out in the rooms, but these are super nice. This is number one of our rooms here that we have a lot of guys building furniture. How's it going, guys? All right, what do you guys been working on the last 24 hours?
Honestly, I know that fixing the chairs up. Yeah. I'm stacking them up, getting everything together.
This guy right here, expert builder. How many do you think you built yesterday?
At least 30. Yeah,
at least 30 chairs. This is all he does. Building, building, building. You gotta have specific people that are just focused on one task, otherwise it gets confusing. But all right, I'll be back, guys. I'll see you.
All right.
All right, things to note, simultaneously while this is going on, we also have Wi-Fi people on site that are installing Wi-Fi in each of the things. We have Schlag locks, which is an electronic lock to monitor the guests in and out as well. That's being placed outside of every unit. And we're having a team come in a few days from now that are gonna install each one of these, connect to the Wi-Fi, make sure everything's good so that the safety and security and efficiency of the units is all set.
right, guys, so this whole last week was all like logistics and preparation for this project. So, you know, the way, I guess if I were to break this down, like last week was all receiving all of the items for this project, because we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxes. And what was going on was throughout the week, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, everybody was coming into this building and dropping off boxes in this storage unit. Now, right now, we made a ton of progress. There's not a lot in here. But this room was filled to the absolute brim. I mean, boxes upon boxes all the way up to the door. And then they started dropping off boxes in the lobby. So I would get a call from Amazon and they'd be like, hey, I'm dropping off 150 boxes at 8 o'clock at night after we already filled this room. And then they would just flood the whole lobby with boxes, right? So kind of crazy, kind of hectic. Poor planning on my part, right? So this was one of the 2 storage units. And we were also having items come in every single day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we would just have boxes come every single day, couches, you know, beds, Amazon boxes, all that stuff. So we filled this room to the brim. Now again, it's totally empty now because we've just been working like mad, but boxes were towered in here all the way up to the entrance. So we've cleared all this out, and now I'm gonna walk you through what else we're doing on day number 2 of the build out upstairs, and we'll kind of walk through what's going on in each one of those rooms and how that's going. All right, so day number 2 of the actual build out. All yesterday, what we were doing is we were sorting out all of the boxes into rooms, making sure everything was accounted for, making sure the quantities were accounted for, and then we started unboxing and noticing what was missing, what else we needed to find, things like that. So today, we're wrapping up a lot of the build process, right? So we're trying to build as many items as possible, we're trying to complete as many rooms as possible, and then we're gonna move on to the next floor because there's a whole nother 18, 19 units on that next floor. So for example, what I'm doing is we're grabbing guys, we're walking them through the interior design, right? So let me show you an example. So these are 3D renders that our interior designer created after she came up with, you know, the whole interior design. So what I did is we sent her floor plans of the unit, we sent her photos of the units, and then virtually she came up with an entire interior design and a purchase list for every single item, so that way we could order based on her recommendations. So this is what's known as 2-bedroom B+, that's the layout. So let's go check out on one of the 2-bedroom B pluses here, and we'll kind of see some of the progress they're making. Because all day yesterday, all day today, what we were doing is we were finding all of the items that they were specifically looking for, and we were sorting them into the rooms, and then they would build them inside the rooms. So we've got the bed here, we've got the oak dresser here, nice floor-to-ceiling windows in this room, super, super cool. I love this layout. This is one of my favorite ones because you've got these nice floor-to-ceiling windows right here in the corner, and you get like almost a panoramic type view. So the living room's currently being built out, and then this is the 2nd bedroom right here. I think she did just such a bang-up job with the interior design, but obviously we're gonna come back into these rooms later after things have been built out, and we're gonna see, you know, kind of what the final product looks like. So, but that's really what we're focusing on today. In addition to this, we've got guys like my man Mark right here going, oh, dude, I'm always messing you up. Going door by door, and what we're doing is we're taking these electronic locks and we're gonna replace the original locks on the door. So that way when guests come, everything can be smart lock automated, right? So I can give them a code, and then after the guest leaves, we can get rid of that code so they don't have re-entry into the building or the unit. So, and then what we're gonna have the handyman guys do as he's dropping every piece on the planet here is the rest of the day, and then we're gonna start doing the other handyman work too, right? So that'll be things like hanging TVs on the wall, and then also like hanging art, hanging photos, all that stuff. So crazy, crazy day. As you guys can see, it's been an absolute madhouse here. So guys, this view is unbelievable, right? So we are in Northern Liberties, Philly, and just in case you didn't pick that up earlier in the video, but this is a really up and coming spot of the city, and this just so happened to be where this opportunity took place. And we've got this beautiful view of the whole city here as well. So what I want to do is I want to break down some of the financials of this deal from an arbitrage perspective, because I think it's important to talk about this to get a realistic understanding of what we're looking at here. So again, just a quick reminder, with Airbnb arbitrage, I'm not buying any property, right? I'm gonna lease property. So this apartment building owner, this company, we built a relationship with in the past, right? So in our first few months of building an Airbnb arbitrage business, we started reaching out to apartment complexes left and right. Now, I don't always recommend that for everybody who's just starting out with Airbnb arbitrage. I think apartment complexes are a more complex deal, right? We have to furnish more units, so it gets very expensive, which I'll break down here in a second. It's a longer-winded sales process. Like, I don't just reach out to one landlord and they say yes and I get the deal. I have to talk to the property manager, the leasing agent, the actual property owner, all these different folks. And then of course in a city like this, there's regulations involved too, which make it even more complex. But they typically profit less per door than just getting a single family house. So for those who are beginners who are just starting out in Airbnb arbitrage, I actually recommend starting with single family houses first. You only have to sell one person, they sleep more people, they usually profit more per deal. So now you're probably wondering, okay, how did this deal happen? What are the financials on a deal like this, right? So earlier in our Airbnb arbitrage journey, we were reaching out to apartment complexes to try to get some apartment buildings under our belt. And in a different city, somebody from this company reached out to us and offered us an opportunity. It was much smaller, right? Not 30 units, I think it was about 7. And we launched those 7 units, and over the last year, we've built a strong relationship with them. And once they built this new project, this is all new construction, they reached out to us and said, guys, look, we've loved to work with you in the past, and we want to offer you this opportunity. We want to fill all this vacancy, right? So that's why they work with companies like us, because in one signature, they just filled 30 plus units of vacancy, right? So we're doing them a major service, and of course, like, there's a benefit for us in this. So the rents in these apartments vary anywhere from like $1,700, $1,500 for the studios, upwards of like $2,500 for the 2 bedrooms, right? Now, you're probably thinking, guys, you must have gotten a lot of leverage for taking on so many units. And we did, but we actually weren't able to get much of a quote unquote rent concession in terms of lowering the rents, because buildings and new projects like this have contracts with the investors that put up the capital to build a new building like this, right? So we actually didn't have a ton of leeway on the rent itself, but we did get a ton of rent concessions. So we were actually able to get 4 months rent free in this project. So we sign a lease, we get 4 months rent, 4 months rent for free. We don't have to pay any of that. But we also signed a 2-year lease on the project, right? So we're leasing 36 units over 2 years, 4 months rent free, with some slight variations in rent, but nothing drastic, because they have to account for, guests coming in and out, repainting some of the common areas, things like that, right? So now when it comes to the financials, right, you're probably wondering, okay, what did it cost to get into a deal like this? And what is it going to profit, right? So here's the cool thing, is Philadelphia, as of right now, 2024, and we're in the beginning of October, they recently imposed some restrictions as of about the last 9 to 12 months. Philadelphia used to have no restrictions or regulations for short-term rentals, and then recently, over the last year or two, they've really made it strict in order to do this, and process itself is kind of a pain in the ass to get permits to do this stuff. So the point is, the competition in Philly went down dramatically. There's like a 30% dip in Airbnb hosts over the last year to 2 years. That's great for us. From a profitability and revenue perspective, we really ran the numbers. So over these next 2 years, accounting for the fact that we're gonna get 4 months rent free, we're projecting anywhere from like a $700 to $1,000 per month profit margin on every single unit. And that's after cleaning, that's after expenses, utilities, and all that stuff. Now, that's kind of a wide range, like 700 to 1,000, and that's mainly because the data's not really there just yet, right? So Northern Liberties is a newer up-and-coming spot, not a ton of Airbnbs, and then on top of that, there's not many of this caliber, right? So another factor with apartments that I think is super important is the level of luxury of the apartment, right? Apartments that have really, really nice renovation style, have really great amenities, like a view like this, or gyms and pools and things like that, but also the location being very prime, will drastically improve the health of an apartment deal, right? So houses, location, amenities, all very important, but the thing is, there's a head count factor. With apartments, you don't have that, right? The most amount of people I can fit in an apartment is maybe 4 to 6 people, right? 1 to 2 bedroom apartment. So because of that, the other factors have to be really top notch in order for that apartment to make money on Airbnb. So that would be things like, again, location, renovation style, amenities. Prime location here, renovation style is beautiful, floor to ceiling windows, great amenities in the building. So because of that, we feel very strongly about this. So again, those are the profit margins we're projecting. It cost us about, on average, about $8,000 to furnish each unit. Now that varies a lot because some are studios, some are 2 bedrooms, but on average, if you count for all different models, about $8,000 per unit, and that factors in even the labor costs as well. So you might be going a little bit over budget, but the thing is, we wanted to opt for higher quality design, interior design, higher quality project. We actually stayed in a bunch of our competitors' Airbnbs in some of the other buildings here, and between you and I, did not do a really great job on the furnishing, right? they furnished it cheaply, right? So probably for $5K or less in some units, right? But the furniture does not look good. It really doesn't provide that luxury experience that we're going for. So we're kind of rolling the dice here, guys. We opted to pay a little bit more for the furnishing, a little bit more for the interior design in hopes that it'll bring more revenue because we're differentiating ourselves from the competition. One last thing I'll say about this is that's not always the smart decision. It's not always the smart decision to want to pay extra and increase your costs in hopes that it will bring more revenue because you think that the luxury style stuff is going to bring more money. At the end of the day, this is a business. It's best to furnish it for the most cost-effective budget possible. So having lower costs like our competitors did in some of these other units is the smarter, more data-backed option. But in this particular market in Philly, we've noticed that a lot of the apartments that make tons of money and tons of revenue are a more luxury style apartment. So we wanted to do something similar so that way we could give ourselves the best odds of making more revenue, especially up against some of the other competitive units here. So, and it wasn't that drastically more expensive than furnishing another apartment. Getting under like, you know, 7K per apartment, getting around 7K per apartment is still very, very good. So our studios we were able to furnish for as low as 4.5, 5K, which is excellent. And then the one bedrooms anywhere from like 6 to 7K, 2 bedrooms around 7 to 8K. So on average, we're probably doing around 7K a unit, which means overall, you could do the math, you know, the overall cost of this project, we're probably upwards of 200K. And every single day we're adding on to those costs because we have furniture builders here, we have handymen here. So we're trying to incentivize people to move more quickly. So if we pay somebody, let's just say $15 an hour to do like a furniture build, if they are able to complete it in a shorter period of time than we projected, then we'll incentivize them, we'll bonus them, right? So that's the financials of the deal. That's how this breaks down. And you know, honestly, it's been a mad project to prepare for all this. There was a lot of calculation that went into it. There was a lot of like Excel sheet crunching numbers, like building out furniture sheets for everybody. You know, that was a whole project in and of itself, getting the interior design, putting it into an actual purchasing like algorithm for everybody, and then giving that to the other operators here as well. So yeah, I hope that was informative and helpful and that gives you some insight. I tend to ramble, but. So guys, it's been an intense 2 weeks straight of just nonstop building out these units. It's been a really, really fun project, but we're finally wrapping up. Today is photo shoot day. So let's go ahead and take a look at the final results of these apartments so you can see what the heck we've been working towards. Let's check it out. Well guys, that wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was entertaining and informative for you on what it's like building out 36 Airbnbs over the course of 2 weeks via apartment complex Arbitrage. So it's been fun. We actually had several of our mentorship students in this deal with us. They each walked away with about 8 to 9 units of their own, and it was really fun to just work alongside them and help them build out this project in real time. So if you're ready to create your own Airbnb business, you can actually go to the link here for free underneath this video for our free Facebook group. It has a ton of great resources, live trainings and things like that that you can use to get started. But if you're absolutely ready to just dive in and accelerate your path towards a job quitting Airbnb business, you can head to airpreneur.com and apply to be one of our one-on-one mentorship students like the folks that were here with us. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and peace.